Hi, when it comes to making decisions, there is no getting around them in life. You are going to have to make decisions for the rest of your life. And guess what? As a married couple, you're also going to need to make decisions. So it's much better to understand, what do you both plan that process to look like? What are you counting on? What are you hoping for? Really, what are you expecting? Because when it comes to saying I do, you want to make sure you understand as much as you can for what it is you're signing up for. Hi, my name is Olivia. I'm passionate about helping you understand relational trauma so you can know what it is, how to prevent it, how to overcome it, and ultimately move on with your life if you find yourself in it. So today, everything we're going to talk about is from Do I, my book. You can find it on Amazon. Today is going to be 3 questions regarding the decision-making process that you can talk to your partner before you say I do. Also, if you're currently married, then you could use these same prompts to have a conversation and discussion to understand how you and also your partner are expecting the decision-making process to go. Because a lot of couples don't talk about the process, you just kind of do it. And sometimes that accounts for how you're butting heads when it comes to making a decision. So because decisions are such a large part of our lives, it's no surprise that we face decisions as couples. So today, everything is going to come from page 42 of Do I? Just a few questions. If you feel safe enough to ask these questions, this is a great time to do that. If you don't feel safe, then I would seek help from a professional in your area before you try to ask and answer any of these questions so that it doesn't escalate into something more. If you don't feel safe enough to have these conversations, then there is a problem. Whether it's a problem in your lack of confidence, ability, communication, or is it a lack of safety? So if safety is the issue, then you always want to seek help, because we should have safety in our homes, in our marriages, and in our relationships. And if not, it's a problem that needs to be addressed, and there are people who can help you. Okay, so here is question number 1. This is the first one. How do you both plan to settle decisions? So here are 3 ways that you can plan to settle decisions. So here's the first one. Do you have a model for decision making? So if not, then it's a really good idea for you both to spend time looking up different models that have been developed as an option of how to make a decision. So there's lots of different ways out there that you can actually break down a problem, weigh out different options, and come through to the end where you're going to make a decision. So if you struggle making decisions, you could do some research together and find a model that you both like and decide, okay, the next time we have a decision to make, let's both look at this together and see if we can get through the process. Okay, so here's number 2. Are there some decisions you feel are your right to make alone? So do you have decisions that once you get married, you're planning on still keeping autonomy in that area, meaning you still plan to have full say and full control when it comes to a specific area? So if that's the case, what are they? These are things you definitely want to talk about before you get married. And really, why would we ever talk about this? It's not something that comes up in terms of conversation. It's just something that we do, right? If I'm believing this is my right, this is where I'm supposed to make decisions, I'm not going to talk to you how I feel it's my right. I'm just going to make the decision. Well, you can see how now that if I'm married, that could potentially cause some problems within the marriage because we're not communicating. So how about it? Is there areas that you plan to be able to make decisions on your own? That could be anything regarding your family of origin, right? So like your mother, your brothers, your sisters, your father, whoever it is in your family. Maybe you think, when it comes to my family, that where I came from, any decisions back and forth that way, I'm making all those on my own. Or it could be maybe finances. Maybe you expect to keep your paycheck, contribute the household fund, and everything else is for you to decide. And maybe your partner's thinking all the money goes in a pot. There is another chapter later on just for finances, But even in this area, it's a good time to start having that conversation. And remember, it's not that someone is right or wrong. It's more important that you have an understanding of what you would like and that you are expressing that. And then you're also listening to what your partner would like and allowing them to express it. It doesn't mean that that's the way it will be. It just means this, as where I'm at right now, this is what I'm thinking. And of course, that could change. It could change with the conversation. It could change in time, can change with circumstance. So we always want to leave the window open to have it change. But it's just really important to see where you're at right now. Okay, and here is number 3. Are there decisions you expect to make as a couple? So what decisions are you just kind of automatically expecting that you're going to make as a couple? So that could be, who's going to school, who's staying home, who's working, maybe, car purchases. Some couples someone can just go buy a car. And with other couples, they make every single car decision themselves or any other way. There's lots of ways couples do their own decisions by themselves. And also that you're expecting. Now, I would expect that if you're doing that, you're telling me and we're having a conversation and we're both saying yes and moving forward, or we're both saying no. It's not do whatever you want in this area. So really breaking down those 3 areas. Do you have a model that you want to use when it comes to decisions? Do you have a plan for how you would like to make a decision as a couple? Are there decisions you plan to make on your own, or you're just assuming you're going to make on your own? And are there also decisions that you plan or are assuming that you're going to both make as a couple? What are those areas? Maybe it's children's names. If we have children, then I'm thinking, because I'm the one giving birth, I'm going to name them. Or maybe you're thinking, because you're the man, that you're going to make them, or because you're this or you're that, or whatever it is. We all kind of have these assumptions and expectations of how it's going to go. And the bigger thing is, have these conversations before you say I do, so that you know what you're agreeing to the extent that you can. Much better to have these worked out and understood so you can decide if you still want to say I do. And also if you work through it, then your marriage is off and running. So again, you can find all of this from my book, Do I? You can find it on Amazon. I will put the link in the description. I will also put some videos up that are more of this series and more regarding relational trauma, so you can get some more information that will come on your screen. Other than that, take good care, and I'll see you in the next one.